Africa, a vast land brimming with rich culture and a deep history. It's embraced by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Indian Ocean to the southeast, and the Atlantic to the west. Africa stands as the world's second-largest continent, both in size and population, boasting 54 distinct countries. It's incredibly diverse in terms of people and languages. The borders of these nations were largely drawn by European powers in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a period known as the Scramble for Africa. The Sahara Desert is a defining feature of Africa, the largest desert on Earth. Its immense expanse presented a significant barrier to travel, communication, and the exchange of ideas. However, Roman explorers did venture across it, aiming to access Africa's rich resources like gold, salt, and spices. For centuries, Arab traders also maintained strong relationships with West African empires, establishing vital trade routes for gold, ivory, and enslaved people. Portuguese expeditions began down the west coast in the 15th century, leading to dramatic changes. Around the 1480s, explorer Diogo Chao made first contact with the Kingdom of Congo. Located south of the Congo River, this kingdom was eager to learn from Portuguese artisans and teachers, and their kings welcomed Catholic missionaries. The Portuguese traded manufactured goods like guns and textiles for enslaved people, who were captured by the Congolese in conflicts with rival kingdoms. By the 17th century, Portugal and other European nations began establishing settlements along Africa's coast. Europeans would acquire enslaved individuals in Africa, transport them across the ocean, and trade them for commodities like sugar, coffee, and tobacco, which fetched high prices back in Europe. It's estimated that between the 16th and 18th centuries, over 12 million Africans were forcibly taken and subjected to brutal conditions on plantations in the Americas. In southern Africa, the Dutch East India Company established the first European settlement, using it as a crucial stop for their journeys to the East Indies. There, they encountered the Khoi, a nomadic indigenous people. This settlement, known as the Cape of Good Hope, expanded, leading to the Khoi, losing their land and livestock to the Dutch, who eventually became known as Boers. Due to a labor shortage, the Dutch also brought in enslaved people from other regions. The Cape of Good Hope later came under British control during the Napoleonic Wars. The end of slavery in 1834 significantly impacted the Boers. In 1835, facing financial ruin, many Boers, known as Voortrekkers, moved inland, forming the Free Orange State and Transvaal, which gained British recognition. Meanwhile, in 1830, France began a war of conquest in Algeria. Simultaneously, in the United States, a movement arose to relocate free black individuals to Africa. Many believe this was for the best. The American Colonization Society started transporting them in 1822, leading to the establishment of the Independent Republic of Liberia in 1847. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 solidified its role in trade with Asia. And Britain's occupation of Egypt in 1882 further highlighted Africa's strategic and economic importance. Numerous European explorers ventured across the continent. David Livingstone, a Scottish missionary, famously sought to spread Christianity and discover the source of the Nile. Henry Morton Stanley, working for King Leopold II, explored Central Africa and mapped the Congo region. So, why the delay in exploring the interior? Limited navigable rivers, tropical diseases, hostile encounters, and less advanced weaponry. During the 19th century, industrialization fueled massive productivity gains in Europe, leading to overproduction and a desperate search for new markets. This intensified the interest in acquiring African land for agricultural production. Europeans pushed into the interior to extract valuable raw materials like rubber, palm oil, gold, copper, and diamonds, making Africa crucial for their economies. In 1884 to 1885, the Berlin Conference was convened by German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. 14 European nations attended, but conspicuously, no African representatives were present. The goal was to dictate how European powers would claim African territory and avoid conflict. Each nation pledged to bring civilization through Christianity and trade. While most colonies were managed by national governments, the conference granted King Leopold II of Belgium sovereign control over a vast area now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. The intention was a free trade zone, but Leopold largely excluded other Europeans, granting concessions for resource exploitation. By 1908, it was revealed that under Leopold's rule, Congolese people were forced to collect wild rubber as a tax. Severe punishments, including the severing of hands or feet, were inflicted for noncompliance. Upon public exposure of these horrors, Leopold was stripped of his colony, and Belgium took over. Europe possessed a significant technological edge. Small European forces armed with machine guns could easily overpower much larger African armies. The rapid-fire capability of machine guns was devastatingly demonstrated in Sudan, where British forces used them to secure their dominance. However, Europe's colonial ambitions faced resistance. By the early 1880s, Ethiopia, then Abyssinia, was threatened by British, French, and Italian interests. Ethiopia's emperor cleverly played European powers against each other, securing weapons from France and later Italy. Ethiopia grew increasingly powerful throughout the 1880s, acquiring modern weaponry. In 1889, Italy declared Ethiopia a protectorate, a claim the emperor rejected. Eager for a victory, Italy launched an invasion in 1894. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, the Italians were decisively defeated, and Ethiopia maintained its independence in 1896. In South Africa, the British clashed with the Boers. After initially recognizing the Boer republics, the discovery of diamonds and fears of a German-Boer alliance sparked war. The Boers employed effective guerrilla tactics and sharpshooting, but ultimately, British forces emerged victorious. Great Britain exerted significant control over large parts of Africa, including Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, and the Gold Coast. France commanded vast territories in West Africa. Germany controlled regions that are now Tanzania and Namibia. Italy held sway over Somalia and Libya, while Portugal dominated Angola and Mozambique. By 1914, a staggering 90% of Africa had been carved up among 7 European nations, with only Ethiopia and the nation of Liberia remaining independent. The British faced quite a fight in South Africa against the Boers. While they'd previously acknowledged the Boer Republic's freedom, the sudden discovery of diamonds and the looming threat of a German-Boer partnership ignited a conflict. The Boers fought back with clever guerrilla tactics, using their excellent shooting skills to slow the British advance, but ultimately, the British forces came out on top. Britain held significant power across Africa, ruling over places like Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria,